let's get to the big news, the writer's strike. First things first, here it comes. It's entitled Strange New Worlds Season 3 Delayed, How Writers' Strike Affects Star Trek. Strange New Worlds Season 3 production is on hold during the WGA's writer's strike, which affects other Star Trek shows and movies as well. It's got a picture of Captain Pike being pretty sad about things.
Yeah.
Mohammed, would you like to read a little bit for us?
Should I read it or should John read it? I mean, it's his words, actually.
No. It'll come so much better from you.
Oh, you're sweet. Come on. All right. Production of Star Trek Strange New World Season 3 has been delayed because of the writer's strike. Strange New World Season 2 is set to premiere on Thursday, June 15th on Paramount+. The cast and crew were scheduled to begin production on Strange New World Season 3 on May 2nd in Toronto. However, the Writers Guild of America, or WGA, has gone on strike to fight for better terms for its members over issues such as streaming residuals and the threat of AI replacing writers. This has impacted not only Strange New World Season 3's production, but the filming of other Star Trek series as well.
Yeah.
Very nice. So this article is actually a kind of a condensed version of a couple of bigger articles that came out about this, which was one from Trek Central, and then another one from TrekMovie.com, our friends over there, who did a very big roundup last week of how the writer's strike will affect pretty much every Paramount show and the non-existent Star Trek 4 movie.
Yeah.
But basically, yes, the Strange New World Season 3 production was supposed to begin on May 2nd, which is the same day the strike began. And so there are no writers on set. They're not allowed to be. So they delayed production for it and indefinitely, just as pretty much every show and movie is currently delayed.
Now, John, can we ask you, because some people are going to say, well, now hang on. Season 3 theoretically is done being written, or maybe it's not, but maybe the first few episodes are done being written or something like that. Why would they stop production on shooting those first few episodes if those episodes are written?
I believe it's because the nature of the Star Trek shows would have a writer or more the showrunner on set because of the nature of the show, things evolving, dialogue having to be rewritten, scenes having to be restructured depending on how these things are shot. Star Trek shows are very, very complicated to make. So rather than attempt to do that without the writers on set and to show solidarity with the writers with WGA, they halted production. So we know, like, our friend Bill Wolkoff is on the picket line.
Flying Lobster, right?
Flying Lobster,
that is at Flying Lobster on Twitter. He is posting a lot or tweeting a lot of things and a lot of updates. And he was even on the local news being interviewed about the writer's strike, which is really cool. He's doing a great job.
Yeah. And, and also Tawny Newsome, who is now a member of the Writers Guild of America. She's on the writing staff of Starfleet Academy. So even though she voices Mariner on Strange New Worlds, she is on the picket line as well, fighting for her and her colleagues' rights as a new writer to the WGA.
Right. So, everybody at home, just picture this. You remember how many times you've heard the story of an actor saying, hey, this line doesn't really work for me. Can we change the line? And then everybody says, well, stop everything. We got to call upstairs, or we got to call the writers and the producers, who are basically the same people, and ask them. And they say, we'd like to change the word, in Muhammad's case, to or of in vice provost title. So
of or for.
Of or for. It's very confusing. So that would be a question. And the writer producer would say, sure, that's fine, or no, because so-and-so and whatever. You see, that very tiny thing is an example of writing, even when the script is already completed. So for that kind of reason, and I'm sure several others, including what John just said, having the writers strike, even if the scripts are done, still can and is halting production because of those reasons. And obviously the writers are on set when they're shooting. They're doing it as producers, but they're still producers that are referencing their writing. So it's kind of a gray area there, but it looks like they've drawn a line in the sand, and it seems like all production is halting except for the animated ones. Is that correct, John?
Yes, yeah. The animated shows are under a different contract. It's TAG. The abbreviation is TAG. I don't remember what the full name of it is, but their contract is going to come up and bump up against this issue, the same as the Directors Guild, same as the Screen Actors Guild. It's all going to kind of coalesce at some point. But right now, yes, Lower Decks and Prodigy, as I understand it, are still in production because they are not affected by this particular writer's strike.
Right. It's a different guild. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking that would be really funny if we had Muhammad's Chat GPT write like an opening monologue for me on this show, and people would know right away, like they would be like, that's not Ryan, that's way too smart, or whatever it would be.
I'm totally gonna pull that up right now.
Yeah, do it, because sometimes you do like a Chat GPT thing and you're like, well, it's using the correct words, but it feels so weird. It's not really smooth. Here, let's test that out. I'll send this over to you here, Muhammad.
Well, and if the writers nowadays are anything like the writers back in the day, the actors would still get pages day of shooting that would be color coded, that would change scenes around. And so the writing doesn't stop once the full script is done. It evolves and changes as production commences.
Mm-hmm. So also, before we go back to the article, I saw some people asking online. Some people were very concerned and in a panic, and they asked, wait a minute, this is going to delay Strange New Worlds Season 2. And I think that we can go ahead and dispel that, because it's shot, it's edited, it's done, it's uploaded to Paramount Plus or whatever. Like, that thing is in the can. Maybe
in the can.
Maybe late episodes, it's possible. Maybe episodes 9 and 10, there could be some last minute things, but I would guess that it's all completely good to go, right, John?
Yeah. I mean, Strange New Worlds was produced. I think they wrapped production in June of 2022 or July of 2022. They've had a year. So, yeah, as you said, those episodes are in the can. I can't imagine they'll be changed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Want me to read that intro?
No, I want to try to read it right here and see if people. So everybody at home, if I didn't tell you that this was something from Chat GPT that Muhammad pulled up for us.
We can see what the prompt was too. What the input was. Yeah,
the input was, write an opening monologue for Star Trek News podcast. Yep. So if we didn't tell you this, would you be able to tell that this was not in my own words? I'm not going to change anything. I haven't looked at it. I'm just going to read it like a weatherman. Here we go. Welcome, fellow space explorers, to the latest episode of the Star Trek News podcast, where we bring you the latest developments and updates from the final frontier. I'm your host, ChatGPT, and it's my honor to guide you through the ever-expanding universe of Star Trek. From the outer reaches of the Alpha Quadrant to the uncharted territories of the Delta Quadrant, we'll cover everything from the latest discoveries by the Federation to the daring missions of our intrepid crew members aboard the USS Enterprise and beyond. Join me as we dive deep into, wouldn't it be dive deeply? Join me as we dive deep into the latest news, interviews, and behind-the-scenes stories from the creative minds who have helped shape the Star Trek franchise into the cultural phenomenon it is today. So sit back, relax, and engage. your warp engines as we embark on another exciting adventure into the vast and wondrous universe of Star Trek.
Oh, that was really good. Good job. Both
Yeah,
of
right.
you.
Especially from that very, very short intro, right?
I'm your host, Chat GPT.
I love that.
Maybe that should be a bit that we do at the end where people in the live chat can ask us to put something into Chat GPT. Muhammad will type it in, and I got to read it at the end of the episode. It could be like, what is Mariner's favorite vegetable? It could be, what really pisses off Captain Pike. It could be, what's the real reason that Discovery was because it might actually know the real reason, so it has to be something hypothetical. But something fun like that. That might be a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I will say that for trivia, it's not very good at all. Like if you ask it trivia things, it'll come up with answers, but they're often wrong. Very, very often wrong.
Often wrong.
Yeah, there you go. Mostly because if you think the PT in ChatGPT is just predictive text, so it's just like, what is a next word from this sentence kind of thing. So it's not based on what is true. It's just based on like what is a common next thing to say after this. So
Wayner asks, and I was thinking the same thing just an hour ago or so. Wayner asks, I wonder if this means Discovery season 5 will end up airing before Strange New World season 3, since it's pretty much done now. Oh, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking, I wonder if this means Discovery season 5 is also delayed a bit.
For the first question, Discovery season 5 was always going to air before Strange New World season 3, because Discovery season 5 is wrapped except for the finale, which they are reshooting or adding scenes to.
And
they've
already finished.
Yeah, I think they did that last week.
They wrapped last week.
Or the week before last.
Last week they only shot like 3 days or something like that, right?
Yeah,
it was like the 26th and 28th
really
of April.
Quick turnaround.
So it's still on tap for 2024 premiere.
But will they be halting even post-production? Because editing is also in its own way kind of rewriting stuff. I think that's mostly going to be directors and editors that are handling that kind of stuff. But I wonder if that also gets halted.
Well, there is 7 months between now and 2024. There's probably plenty of time. We don't know how long the strike's going to last. Hopefully it'll be resolved relatively soon, and then everybody can get back to work and, with better terms.
Yes.
But, I would say there's very little danger of Discovery being so far off in 2024 being delayed at this point anyway.
Right. Let's see.
I like Mavorello's comment. I didn't really like it. I like Brian Cecily shtick instead.
It wasn't meant to be silly.
Oh.
I know. All right. So let's continue on with this fun information brought to you by our friend, John Orchiola. Oh, let's see. No, you did. The next thing you do is you cite Trek Central, which you just did. Let's see what this does for us here. Muhammad, if you will please us.
Strange New World Season 3, completed production in 2022. So the next 10 episodes will stream on Paramount Plus as scheduled, starting June 15th. Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4 scripts were locked months ago, and production on that series should continue so that the hit animated comedy can make its late summer premiere. Star Trek's 2 animated shows, the other being Star Trek Prodigy, are covered by the Animation Guild. There we go, that's TAG, contracts. So production on those series can continue, although the same issues facing the WGA will eventually come to bear with TAG, the Screen Actors Guild, SAG, and the Directors Guild of America, DGA. A lot of G's and A's in there.
Yeah.
So if you like acronyms, everybody, we've got you covered.
Join show business if you love acronyms.
Lots of guilds and lots of America.
Yeah.
And the
But
one
the
for the
screen-
studios, what's that one like? ATMTPA?
It's long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not as cute. I like the the unions that are like SAG and TAG. They're like cute little things,
So with the Animators Guild, that one doesn't have America in it. Is it international? Or is it just not mention America?
I don't know. Is our good friend Aaron Welke in the chat? He can answer that.
Yeah, maybe.
But
I'm assuming it's just America.
SAG doesn't say. It's just.
Oh, that's true.
Screen
SAG doesn't either. You're right.
Studio
You're right.
Actors
SAG doesn't either.
Guild.
Does SAG have people not in the United States or not in North America?
Oh, no.
There is a British guild. I know that
It's separate.
for
Bag.
yes.
Right.
It's called something different, and
And
I'm
Canada
blanking
is
on it.
CAG, CAG.
Yeah.
Now, anybody that speaks French, actually, our good friend Lisa Mackey in the live chat, she's in Montreal, so she might know the French slang that CAG means, CAG, although the French call it CAG, slightly different than CAG. CAG. It means to crap, basically. So we'll just move on from that.
Wow.
Fun word to say. CAG.
But the Screen Actors Guild has sent out emails saying that they are in negotiations with the Producers Guild as well, and there is a potential for them to strike in mid-June. So
The producers?
Screen
Actors.
Actors Guild.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So if they coincide, then that will just mess everything up.
So we're just bringing up this cool radical poster
I like it.
that can
I
be
love that
found
poster.
on StarTrek.com. Everybody, look, there's an Enterprise little tip, and here's the shadow. It's beautiful. The reason we want to show you this real quick is just to, first of all, point out StarTrek.com. Everybody go check out StarTrek.com. You probably haven't in a while, and you should, but also because whoever made this poster doesn't have to go back and change this bottom that says streaming June 15th. Strange New Worlds, new season streaming June 15th. It's still June 15th, everybody. Nobody has to redo the poster.
Unless they push it back a full year, which would be terrible.
Oh,